Well, that was a bit of a surprise. I use RAM mounts for my camera mounts, excellent quality, but I have to say that just failed, and I'll just show you the failure. So the aluminium bolt that's attached to the ball joint, the ball joints are rubber, that has snapped. So that's the DJI Action camera stick that the camera was mounted on, and that is the actual remaining part of the RAM mount, the ball joint, still screwed in. Now that's not what I expected from RAM mount. I mean, they might say that you shouldn't have a camera stick on, but I would have thought it should be strong enough to cope with that. Anyhow, these things happen. The camera, as you saw, bounced off and bounced down the road, and I'll put a picture up of the camera because I can't film it, obviously. But if there was ever a good reason to have one of DJI's protection boxes around the camera, this is it. The box is broken, that's snapped. That's well and truly broken. But the camera is virtually untouched. Slight scuff one corner, but that's it. So, thumbs down for the RAM mount ball joint. Thumbs up for the DJI Action 4 camera. Amazing how that has survived with just a slight scuff. Amazing. Thank you, DJI. Anyway, back to business. Hopefully it's filming, but virtually no damage to the actual stick itself either. Just a slight mark just there. Just a slight mark there. Everything else intact. DJI Action cameras and mounting stick, very, very good. Forgot to check if there's any damage on the bike actually for the gear coming off. No, nothing. So the bike survived the camera failure. Oh, not the camera failure, survived the RAM mount failure. You've seen the dramatic footage of the camera falling off the bike. The camera in its protective case mounted, and it's a DJI Action 4 camera and a DJI Action expandable stick. So the problem is not DJI. The problem is RAM mount. So this is a RAM mount short connector, and that's okay. That was fixed to the bike on a RAM mount mounted to the handlebars. This is a RAM mount ball joint, which is screwed to the bottom of the DJI Action extension cable. I also screw a Ghost Drift camera onto that as well. Never had a problem. But on this occasion, and I've used it several times, I had this attached to the RAM ball joint. The RAM ball joint is like a rubberized material that seems to be just screwed in part way rather than fully through. And in fact, there seems to be a position there for a hexagonal bolt head. There seems to be a position for a nut in there, but this is exactly how it came. So that was effectively, and there's a screw thread on the inside of that, was just effectively screwed into there like that. Now, I thought that would be more substantial than it actually is, considering these are built to mount cameras and things on. And in fact, I've got my phone mounted on the opposite side with exactly the same bit of kit. Now, it may be that because of the length of this, and I had it extended about to there. No, I didn't actually. No, I didn't. I had it in that position, but I have had it extended there previously, but I had it in that position. That's a very lightweight, robust bit of kit from DJI. And it might be that the position of that, the height of that, the camera weighs nothing, but it might be that that's the cause that it's moving around. But it was tightened down properly. I double checked that. So it was tight. But anyway, so that's failed. And as you saw, hopefully you saw, the camera went bouncing down the road. Now the camera was mounted in this protective frame that goes around the camera. You slot the camera in, and then you just normally press that down, lock it into place. And it adds a degree of protection if you drop it while handling it. However, this went right proper bouncing down the road. And you can, this is broken. You can see where it's broken at the hinge. Slightly scuffed. Not too much really. So you can see the impact has been here. And that's why this corner has broken. But at the end of the day, that frame is designed to shockproof your camera in the event that you drop it. But you've got to say that that has incredibly done its job. When I first saw this frame, I thought, well, it's okay, it's a bit of plastic. But that has absolutely done its job, because I'll show you the camera now. So here we have the actual camera. And bear in mind, you saw it, this has been down the road. The protective frame obviously was around it. That's written off now. But there's barely anything wrong with this camera so far, fingers crossed. The only damage to it, and it's not really the only damage to it that I can find, and I'm struggling to find it again now. Ah, there it is. So the only damage I can find is just there, where it's slightly scuffed. But without glasses, I wouldn't even see that.
Sorry about that.
You're okay, don't worry about it. Just coming to see what's going on. So, if I can possibly... It's very difficult because you can barely see it. Well, I can barely see it without glasses. I wouldn't see it. But there is a slight scuff just there. Just there. Now this. So, this is simply a lens protection cover. And you screw it off. Replaceable. And there you have the actual lens. So all that is a lens protection cover. I think, yeah, and also it'll waterproof the camera to a degree anyway. So that's the only damage to that camera, was that slight manner. Not enough for me to even bother replacing the lens cover. In fact, I think possibly I've even got one spare. I think it comes with another one. Anyway, that's it. The camera survived. So the DJI Action 4 camera, the DJI protective case cover, absolutely tremendous. DJI, you just got it right with that case cover. This camera bounced down the road. The only other slight damage was, and that's quite remarkable actually, because this is the only other damage, and it's only slight. Remember, this bounced down the road as well. Is just a slight scuff there. Some of the paintwork come off, and that's it. So, RAM mount, catastrophic failure. Might be more to do with the extended rod, this rod that was attached to it. Should have survived, should have been better than that. RAM mount, you're better than that. Rubbish. DJI, what can I say? Your camera and the Action stick survived a tumble down the road, and it was at reasonable speed as well. Your camera case cover, protection cover, did its job. DJI, well done, superb. Anyhow, just thought I'd pass that one on. Thanks for watching.